Right, so today we've got Darren Burt here, who is the director of Cavell Golf, which is a brand new golf brand that has golf ball brand, that's just launched this month. We are going to sit down and talk about what's so special about the golf balls and everything surrounding that topic. So, welcome Darren, and thank you for sitting down with me.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Let's just start by introducing Cavell Golf and telling me and the community a little bit about what the brand is and why you started it.
Okay, so the idea started about a year and a half ago, where we were playing a lot of golf, and if you speak to any one of my friends, they'll tell you I'm a very average golfer, and the problem is when you try to get better, you go through a lot of golf balls, and to get better you need to play a really good ball, and you'll find that the top balls are very expensive, and what you start then doing is looking for the best value ball on the market. And so I thought of this idea, and I proposed it to a few friends, that if someone could produce really sort of premier ball that performed exactly the same and had a really good branding, it might be able to compete. And if you steer clear of the expensive sponsorship deals that you have on the PGA Tour, then you'll be able to have a sort of a leaner marketing model, which means that you can pass on those costs to the consumers. About a year down the line now, we've tested enough balls, we've been approved competition play with the RNA, and we're just coming to market, and we've been live for about 2 weeks, and we're online now.
You must have tested a lot of golf balls.
I think we ordered over 5,000, so there was quite a lot.
Oh, wow. So there's rules and regulations in place for the manufacturing of a golf ball. There's not that many UK, not manufactured, but UK designed golf ball brands. You are one of a handful. And the balls that you guys have developed are pro level approved, tour level approved.
And that's correct. So any competition you play in the UK, you can turn up and you know that our ball is certified to play in that competition. Our balls are designed in the same method that all the top balls are. So most of your cheap sort of range balls or your entry level, what I call distance balls, they'll use what I have is a Surlyn cover, which is quite firm, robust, durable, cheap. And for a beginner golfer, that is where you want to start. You'll probably lose so many balls that it's cost effective, and you won't see the benefits of a more expensive
Not even just beginner golfers, just to clarify.
No, that is true.
There's water and trees that have many of my golf balls.
Yeah, absolutely. And but as you develop, and as you start sort of getting a handicap and start going below 28, you realise that if you hit a wedge onto a green, and when you play on some of the nice courses, particularly if you play abroad, greens are very quick, and you need a ball that can spin and give you that control when it lands. If you use a Surlyn ball, you're not going to get the same as you will with a urethane ball. So pretty much every tour level golf ball uses a urethane cover or a cast urethane cover, which is what we use. And that just offers better spin, better control, and the same distance and durability as Surlyn. And what that means is that you get that sort of better feel and control when you go around the course.
Are those the two main types of coatings that you can have on a golf ball?
Yeah, and there are hybrids and there are breakdowns of that, but I'll send you to sleep if I went into that. I'm sure people can go on our website and find out or online. But those are the two ones that you have to look out for.
Yeah. And what's the kind of, I'm intrigued by, you've got a golf ball designer that you work with. Like, what's that process like? Do you break down existing products and look at how they're made, or is it quite a structured kind of, you could pick different elements from different balls and you just kind of put them together to make what you now have as the Cavell golf ball?
So the recipe is pretty much the same for most premium golf balls, where it has an outer urethane or cast urethane cover, and then you have a Surlyn mantle, which just gives it a bit of softer feel, which it just gives it a better feel between the rubber and the cover, so it just gives it that nice soft feeling off the club face. So when you hit it off the toe in winter, it doesn't send the vibrations through your club.
Because you hear that a lot. Oh, that's a soft golf ball, or that's a hard golf ball, and I think for my level, which is mid-level, and a lot of the community where we're beginners, we're looking at shopping for golf balls and we don't really know what we're looking for. So therefore the price is always the leading indicator of what we'll go with. But generally soft seems to be
the preferred. And I think particularly for beginners, and when you have a slower swing speed, it's more favourable.
Okay.
More advanced golfers will lean towards a firmer feeling golf ball.
Okay.
And the reason why is a firmer ball goes, it goes further because it goes faster, and a softer ball is more forgiving, but it's easier to compress. So at slower speeds, it will actually go a little bit quicker than a firm ball. So for beginners, you should be leaning towards a softer ball.
Yeah. I remember being fitted for a golf ball once before actually, and I couldn't believe that was a process that happened, because I know you have golf club fittings, but I'd been introduced to this whole world of golf ball fittings, and it makes sense actually what you've just said about the explanation of the kind of hard versus soft, which might affect like different playing abilities and really what ball you should be playing at the different levels. So very interesting. There's a growing sector in the women's market now, so hopefully that's something you guys are looking to target a bit more too.
Absolutely. I think women's golf has got to be one of the fastest growing sports out there. I think you've got incredible role models out there, and sort of like the Charlie Hulls, who are setting the world on fire with their performances. And I think anyone who doesn't acknowledge the women's game is just going to get left behind. And I think the old-fashioned stereotype of golf being kind of this like snobby elite sport is already gone now. And if you go into any club now, you'll see that they're wearing sort of the Nike Airs, and they're wearing the hooded tops and everything. It's all evolved so quickly, and so we'll absolutely be. We'll target every part of the golf industry, from the young to the old, and men and women. But we'll definitely be sort of leaning on sort of trying to go into the females community and in sort of the junior golf.
Yeah.
To try and increase.
It's not a ball that's kind of for a specific age, gender group. It's for everyone. You've already sponsored one of our events through the summer, through the Wine and Nine, and I know the girls had a lot of fun playing with the balls and testing them out, which was great. And I think that if you are in that kind of price range, which is actually, what is the price point of the balls if you're buying, say, a dozen?
So if you buy a dozen on their own, right now we're at £35 or $34.99, and then if you buy bulk deals, we do them at under £30, which for a similar ball from more established brands, you're looking at around about £50 to £55.
Yeah.
But just on those events, I think I said earlier, we don't have the capacity to sponsor these big events on the PGA Tour or Live Tour or whatever it is. But what we can do is we can sponsor the next generation, the grassroots golf. And I think what we'll do in the community at a junior level is we'll probably sponsor some sort of training events where we give away balls and try and get participation. And that will be both boys and girls. And then I think at the adult golf takes on a whole new level. And as you've seen in your events, it's a social sport as much as it is an activity sport and sort of an outdoor sport. And we'll be sponsoring those events, and if those events, are a wine and dine or Mimosa Monday, someone suggested, or however it is, however we do it. But for me, there's nothing better than in golf. Is when you're playing abroad in a hot country and you're in a golf car and you've got a couple of drinks at the back, and it's fantastic. And no one remembers what you scored at the end of the day, but you had a fantastic time. And I think we'll try and do that. And if it gets more people to participate in the sport, then that's better.
Yeah. And you've got a lot of women in your golfing network already, don't you? So actually, I think you'll have quite a natural progression into kind of appealing to that market segment, I think.
Absolutely. I'm quite fortunate. So I play with my mum and my aunt. So my aunt, she absolutely loves golf. She lives for golf, and she's a member at Henley, and I play with her quite a lot. I taught my mum how to play golf, about 10 years
sweet.
ago. And it was a little bit of thing we used to do. And like my mum is one of those classic examples of you don't need to go around in pars to enjoy it. She was just like going out with me, and as long as you can get around the course and have fun and don't get too stressed out, she would love it. So that's how I came about Scratch Women, because I was playing at Richmond Park. I was just going down for a little practice on my own, and just I hadn't played there in a while, and there was just a woman who was about to play on her own. I said, "Look, if you want to play with me, then we can play together." And we got in conversation. She said, "Oh, have you ever heard of Scratch Women?" I was talking about the golf brand.
The power of person-to-person networking.
Absolutely.
Honestly.
And then
So
about 2 months later, here we are.
yeah.
So
Great. Good job, girls.
Yeah.
Keep on spreading the word. That's so good. And I think what you're doing and what your product is and what your brand is already looking fantastic. So I'm sure you'll be off to a flying start.
Hopefully.
No
pun intended.
A bit of a broad scoping question, but what do you think is the number one thing that's stopping people from getting into golf or picking up the sport?
I would say that sort of apprehension or fear, maybe, that you're going to go there, and it's quite a daunting experience if you go to a club for the first time. You have to tee off on your own. There's no real other sport out there where you have to do it potentially in the front of a clubhouse or something
always
like
a
that.
Small crowd gathered. It feels like
exactly.
it anyway.
And the best advice I could give is that no one cares how you play.
Yeah.
And anyone who's been around a golf club for more than 2 occasions has seen someone duff the ball, and they will forget it before. You might remember it, but they won't. Yeah. And so the best advice I can go out there is do it, and once you've duffed the ball enough times, you stop caring, and you stop worrying about what other people are thinking, because most of the time they're just concerned about how they're playing themselves. Yeah. They're not really worried about your score. So go out there, have fun. The advice when I joined my golf club was, they said, look, no one cares how good you are. Yeah. They just care that you're entertaining when you walk around and then you're not too slow. Everyone looks for a ball at some point, but if you're really, really slow, then they might give you a comment.
Yeah.
But honestly,
no one remembers, do they? Also, you say you might remember your duff ball, but I've hit so many duff balls in my life that I definitely don't remember them anymore. They're just blur into one big...
Yeah, exactly.
Big messed up hole.
And you'll get like a really horrible one where you hit it and it will hit a tree and pretty much come back straight at you, and or that. But it's amazing as soon as you get into the clubhouse and the 19th hole, you forget about the round of golf, no matter how good or bad it was, because it was just fun thing to do for a while with your friends, and then on to the next. And that's it. I think it's a perfectionist sport, but you can't be perfect in it. And I think at the start, what you just need to do is by celebrating the good things in it, and whether it's just the good time that you had, or the conversation, and then just the good shots that you've had. Yeah. Where it's you might just have got your first par, or you hit a really close approach, or a long drive, and you just have to remember those. And as you get better, they get more and more, and then that's when you start breaking it down.
Well, I'm very excited to see what is in store for Caval next year, and I hope we can do more stuff into 2024.
I hope so too. I'm sure we will. Mimosa Mondays.
Mimosa Mondays. I think we should definitely make that a thing.
On a bank holiday maybe.
Thank you so much for joining me, and I
pleasure.
hope that it was a bit insightful for the community about golf balls and an introduction to the brand. So if you want to buy some golf balls, definitely head to the website and you can buy those online now. Thank you.
Thanks.